evening and welcome to Lagos Update on Lagos Traffic Radio 96.1 FM. This program highlights the activities of the Lagos State Governor and other state events. I'm Adeola Akindele. Highlights of the program today. Lagos State Governor swears in 11 newly appointed permanent secretaries. This and more after this timeout. We'll begin today with this story. An interdenominational service has been held as part of activities marking this year's Lagos State Public Service Week, with the theme, A Transformed Life for a Greater Service, at the Chapel of Christ's Delight, Alausa, Ikeja. In a goodwill message, Governor Babajide Sanwo-Olu, represented by the Chief of Staff, Tayo Ayinde, pledged his administration's commitment towards recognizing and rewarding exceptional performances and called for continued support to be able to deliver more dividends of democracy to residents.
I assure you of our continued commitment to your welfare and the provision of the necessary tools as well as the conducive environment to give you the very best. We will also continue to recognize and reward exceptional performance in the service.
The head of service, Hakeem Uri-Okunola, has said for the continuous support of the workforce to enhance government policies, noted that civil service is a calling in which civil servants render selfless services for the growth of the state.
Lagos State, being the center of excellence, has set the pace once again by creating a first of its kind initiative in the health sector. This, I must state, is truly a testament of Mr. Governor's dedication to achieving a greater Lagos rising. But we are confident in this group of officers that they can deliver, they can talk the talk, walk the walk, and take us to a destination of providing healthcare under one roof and make our PHCs very viable.
In a sermon, Professor of Architecture, Pastor Samuel Daramola, urged civil servants as engine room of the government to have a transformed mind to ensure sustainable growth and progress in the state, and as well called for a purposeful leadership to guide decisions and policies that will be of mutual benefits to the residents of the state.
We are here today to celebrate the leadership of our state, Lagos State, not by the grace of man, but by the divine grace that God has given today. So for you to provide leadership in the area of sustainable development, economic growth, to make it to work away, tears for the eyes of the people, we need a transformed man.
Wife of the governor, Ibijoke Sanwo-Olu, who was represented by Mrs. Bukola Akoshile, read the Bible passage taken from Romans 12, verses 1 to 8. Prayers were offered for the governor, his deputy, Obafemi Hamzat, Speaker of the State House of Assembly, Mudashiru Obasa, the civil service and peace of the state and Nigeria. The event was attended by Secretary to the State Government, Abimbola Salu Ndeyin, body of permanent secretaries, general managers of agencies and parastatals, some former members of the State Executive Council, and clerics, among others. On Monday, Lagos State Governor Babajide Sanwo-Olu congratulated President Bola Tinubu for emerging as the chairman of the Authority of Heads of State and Government of the Economic Community of West African States, ECOWAS, at the 63rd Ordinary Session, which took place in Guinea-Bissau. Sanwo-Olu, in a statement issued and signed by his Chief Press Secretary, Boyega Akoshile, described the development as a significant affirmation of Nigeria's leadership in the West African sub-region and the African continent. He added that the confidence reposed in President Tinubu by his colleagues to lead the important coalition will manifest in effective collaboration and practical solutions to the myriad of challenges of economic growth, sustainable development, and issues of trans-border security. Earlier, Permanent Secretary, Ministry of Local Government and Community Affairs, Kikelo Mobolarinwa, noted that the council is constituted by the state government in recognition of the importance in the advisory roles played by the traditional institution on chieftaincy, security and intercommunal affairs, among others.
On the 7th of May 2018, approval was given by the state government for the enlargement and reconstitution of the 84 council member for 5 years, and the tenure of the council has since lapsed since May year 2023.
While speaking to Governor's Office correspondents, Elegushi of Ikatiland, Oba Sahid Elegushi, Oniru of Iru, Oba Mogola Lawal, and Onishabe of Igbobishabe, Oba Ulabi Adeniyi, on behalf of other traditional rulers, called on the Lagos State government to recognize 20th August as Isheshe Day.
We bring it to the House of Assembly. It's still pending with them that August 20, we, the Isheshe Traditional Institute, should have our own holiday.
We continue to ask the government to give us that day, 20th of August, every year as our special day, because we need to. We are also providing security and spiritual security.
It is not a clandestine something. It's something that we do in the open. Like we move freely during the Christmas time. It's a kind of festivity.
First-class urbans across the 5 divisions of the state, including Ikeja, Badagry, Ikorodu, and Ekpe, constituted the 84-member council for a 5-year term. On Thursday, Lagos State Governor Babajide Sanwo-Olu sworn in 11 newly appointed permanent secretaries in the state civil service, with 7 of them from the health sector, as a reflection of reforms carried out in the sector. Speaking at the event, Governor Sanwo-Olu noted that the appointment is the first by any subnational government aimed at delivering quality, universal primary healthcare services to residents of the state, and to ensure that no one is left behind. Governor Sanwo-Olu, who congratulated all the permanent secretaries, pledged to continue to ensure that the best in the civil service are at the helms of affairs to assist government in the implementation of its policies, programs, and agenda tagged the Themes Plus Developmental Agenda.
It is therefore very important that you see this appointment as a recognition and an acknowledgement of your performance over the years and your impressive result, the competitive selection process that was carried out several months ago. My expectation from you, and indeed the expectation of all of us being Lagosians, is to be at your best at all times, and on top of your new responsibility.
Earlier, the state head of service, Hakeem Uriokola, described the appointment of the new permanent secretaries, especially in the health sector, as a deliberate action by Governor Sanwo-Olu in line with requirements of the Sustainable Development Goals, urging them to hit the ground running and validate the confidence reposed in them.
Lagos State, being the center of excellence, has set the pace once again by creating a first of its kind initiative in the health sector. This, I must state, is truly a testament of Mr. Governor's dedication to achieving a greater Lagos rising. But we are confident in this group of officers that they can deliver, they can talk the talk, walk the walk, and take us to a destination of providing healthcare under one roof and make our PHCs very viable.
in her vote of assurance on behalf of others, the Permanent Secretary, Motor Vehicle Administration and Control Agency, Azizat Kilanku, expressed gratitude to Governor Sanwo-Olu for the appointment, promising that they will support the government to achieve the Greater Lagos agenda.
We will not be a weak link in our journey to a Greater Lagos rising through the Teams Plus agenda. With
the newly sworn-in permanent secretaries, the number of permanent secretaries in the state civil service has increased to 68, including 34 males and 34 females. 4 out of the number were appointed on the 3rd of July and had since resumed duties, while the 7 permanent secretaries in the health sector were appointed on the 10th of July to oversee 6 medical districts of the state. Finally, on the program today, Lagos State Governor Babajide Sanwo-Olu says the state government will partner the Chartered Institute of Bankers of Nigeria, CIBN, to build youth capacity through the Human Development Capital Fund initiative of the institute. Governor Sanwo-Olu spoke during a courtesy visit to him by the Governing Council of the Chartered Institute of Bankers of Nigeria, led by its president and chairman, Ken Okpara, at the Lagos House, Ikeja. The governor said his administration, through the Things Plus agenda, will ensure no one is left behind in the delivery of good governance and dividends of democracy. Speaking earlier, Okpara congratulated Governor Sanwo-Olu for his re-election as the governor of Lagos State, which was primarily based on his notable achievements and antecedents as a distinguished par excellence. He also praised the governor for his support for the banking industry by providing an enabling and safe environment for financial institutions to thrive. Okpara reiterated CIBN's continuous relationship and partnership with the Lagos State government, implored the state government to take advantage of the numerous experienced professionals in the banking industry that can help handle various projects and initiatives of the government. Story, we conclude this week's edition of Lagos Update, a program that highlights the activities of the Lagos State Governor and other state events. You can follow us on our various social media platforms: Twitter, Lagos Traffic 961, Instagram, Lagos Traffic Radio 961, Facebook, Lagos Traffic Radio 96.1 FM. On our YouTube, subscribe and watch us live on our channel, Traffic Radio 961. You can as well follow me on Twitter at Adeola Akindele1 and Threads at Adeola Akindele. Thanks to my producer, Babatunde Akinyemi, studio engineer, Ayo Toyon, with support from the social media team. The executive producer is Tayo Akule. I'm Adeola Akindele. Next week is another date. Stay blessed and stay safe.